Hello, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a topic that's really at the very heart of the hospitality industry, pricing. But we're not just going to be talking about numbers. We're going to explore how a simple room rate is actually a powerful story, and how mastering that story is absolutely key to your success.
So hello, I'm a hotel AI expert, and I've spent my career working in modern hospitality operations. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this learning journey. It all comes down to this core idea. Pricing isn't just an operational task, it's a strategic one. It's the place where the value you provide, the way guests see your brand, and your bottom line all come together. Get that right, and you've built the foundation for a truly successful hotel.
So let's start with the most fundamental concept of all. Your price is a signal. You have to think of it as the single most powerful and immediate message that you send out to the market and to every single potential guest.
So I want you to start by asking yourself this exact question. When a guest sees your rate, whether it's on a booking site or your own website, what story are they hearing? Does it scream luxury? Does it whisper great value? Is it communicating convenience? Every single pricing decision you make is broadcasting a message, whether you intend it to or not.
You see, it is so much more than just a number used for a transaction. That price shapes expectations long before a guest ever even thinks about stepping into your lobby. It influences their behavior, it frames how they see your brand, and it really sets the stage for their entire experience with you.
And that brings us right to the foundation of any intelligent pricing strategy, which is the relationship between value and customer perception. The thing is, you just can't price effectively in a vacuum. It has to be rooted in a deep, genuine understanding of your guest.
And the key concept here is perceived value. Your guests don't evaluate your rate in isolation. They're constantly doing this mental math, weighing the price against everything else. The quality of the rooms, the reputation of your brand, the level of service they expect to get. They're always asking, is this worth it? Is this a fair exchange?
This whole thing creates what I like to call the pricing tightrope. It's this really delicate balancing act where falling off on either side is dangerous. If you price too low, you don't just hurt your profitability, you might be accidentally signaling poor quality and over time eroding your brand. But if you price too high without a really strong justification, you're just going to push potential guests straight to your competitors.
So, the crucial point to remember is that value means completely different things to different people. A one-size-fits-all approach to pricing, it's just doomed to fail. The budget traveler is hunting for the best deal. The business traveler, on the other hand, will happily pay more for convenience and reliability. And then you have the luxury seeker, who is paying for prestige and a sense of exclusivity. Your strategy has to reflect all these different priorities.
This leads us to our next big idea, using price as a form of brand language. I mean, think about it. Your pricing is constantly, 24/7, communicating your hotel's position in the marketplace. Let's think about it this way. A high price point is a statement. It's a billboard telling the world that you offer a premium product. It naturally attracts a very specific type of guest, one who equates a higher cost with a superior experience, with better service, and with a level of exclusivity that they're more than willing to pay for. Now, in contrast, a competitive, value-based price sends a completely different message. It speaks of accessibility, efficiency, and practicality. Now, this is not about being cheap, not at all. It's about making a clear and honest brand promise to guests who prioritize function and affordability above all else.
And this is exactly why strategic consistency is so vital. If you market your hotel as this exclusive, premium destination, but you're constantly running aggressive last-minute discounts, you create confusion. That misalignment weakens your credibility, and it really damages the trust your guests have in you. Your price has to reinforce your brand story, always.
Of course, no strategy can be rigid. As you know, the hotel market is incredibly dynamic. So let's talk about how to build flexibility into your pricing, but in a structured and strategic way.
The key tool in your toolbox here is dynamic pricing. And this is about so much more than just raising prices when you're busy. It's about using data to intelligently respond to real-time shifts in the market. A big conference in town, a holiday weekend, even your own occupancy levels. These aren't just events, they're data points that should trigger smart strategic adjustments to maximize your revenue.
Another really powerful technique is segmented pricing. So instead of having one flat rate for everyone, you create tailored offers for different groups. Your corporate clients might get a volume discount for their loyalty. A leisure couple might be attracted by a special weekend package. A large conference gets its own group rate. You see, Each price is strategically designed for a very specific audience.
But let's be honest. Having a great strategy on paper is one thing. Executing it successfully, well, that requires immense discipline and a real commitment to constantly measuring your results. This, right here, is where so many hotels fall short.
Let me be very clear about this. Unstructured, reactive discounting is an incredibly dangerous habit. What you're doing is training your guests to wait for a deal. You're teaching them that your initial price isn't the real price. And over time, this just systematically erodes your perceived value and, of course, your profitability.
True pricing discipline, in my view, is built on 3 pillars. First is consistency, making decisions based on your long-term strategy, not just because you're feeling pressured to fill a few rooms tonight. Second is sales alignment, making sure your team can confidently explain the value that justifies your price. And third, constant performance measurement.
You have to be tracking the right metrics to know if your strategy is actually working. You need to be asking, are our conversion rates improving? What's happening to our average transaction value? And most importantly, how is our margin performance? This is the data that tells you when to stay the course and when you need to make an adjustment.
So, to summarize our key takeaway, if there's one thing I want you to remember from this, it's this. I want you to stop seeing pricing as a reactive tool you just use to fill rooms. Instead, I want you to see it for what it truly is, a proactive, strategic driver of your hotel's growth, your brand identity, and what makes you different in the market.
And I'll leave you with this final thought to consider as you move forward in your careers. Look at any hotel, including one you might be working in right now, and ask this simple but incredibly powerful question. Is our pricing strategy actively building our brand, or is it silently breaking it? Thank you.